From this point on, every remaining NACC tournament game could be an elimination game. This one most certainly will be. We will decide who will play Concordia, Wisconsin in the championship round beginning tomorrow. For the second time today, we will see the third-seeded Eagles of Benedictine University and the second-seeded Stars of Dominican University. And we welcome you back. The 2025 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Softball Tournament. Game 5 of double elimination play featuring the Stars and Eagles. Winner plays tomorrow. The loser's season comes to an end. Who will it be? Our broadcast today is presented in part by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland, by Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus, by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Game days are better with Cane's. I'm Sean Fry. Bryce Suter is our technical director. We have been here for all 8 in the tournament so far. Number 9 is tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for 1 and possibly 2 if CUW fails to win against whoever emerges from our contest here. We already went through how the teams got to play today, so let's recap the first appearances for these teams. Dominican eliminated number 5 MSOE earlier with a 4-2 victory. MSOE got on the board first with a run in the top of the opening frame, but the Stars battled back. Liliana Santoyo doubled 2 batters into the game. She was singled home by Reagan Davis, and then 2 batters later, Davis herself was knocked in by her older sister, Riley. The Stars took the lead. They would add a run on a Sarah Cornell RBI single in the second, and they would not look back. The Raiders would pick up 1 in the fourth. Dominican would strike back with a Hannah Vogel RBI single in the 5th, and that was it for the scoring. Vogel went 3 for 3 with an RBI and a run. Kaylee Diaz-Randall and Riley Davis had 2 hits apiece. And Emma Woodhouse with a complete game win, 2 earned runs on 9 hits and a walk. She threw 104 pitches and will be back to deal in game number 2. Benedictine was just on the field not even that long ago. Their contest ended at 3:11, 49-minute break, and they will try to save their season. The Eagles taking on the conference co-champions and the number 1 seeded Concordia, Wisconsin Falcons, and actually got on the board first as Haley Barnes hit an RBI double to give Benedictine the early 1-0 lead in the top half of the first, but CUW responded with 4 hits, including a Jess Pozazinski home run and a Caitlin Way sac fly later in the inning, and a 3-run first. That would be enough. In fact, it would be all of their scoring against Mackenzie Johnson, who tossed 5 shutout frames after that in a 108-pitch outing. And although Benedictine was able to get within a run in the 3rd and would threaten in both the 5th and 7th innings, were not able to find the equalizer, and now they are in an elimination game to conclude day 3 of the NACC tournament. Field is being finished up, and then our umpires will meet with the coaches and exchange the lineup. So here they are, and if you've been watching earlier today, they will look very familiar. Here's Kate Heidkamp's lineup for the Benedictine University Eagles. Morgan Bruno, the catcher, leads off. Brianna Deutscher is the shortstop, and she will bat second. It's Haley Barnes playing third base and batting third, and Victoria Dazinski is the designated player in the cleanup spot. Jasmine Lozano hits 5th and plays left field. Jenna Barkey is in the opposite field, right field to be specific, and she'll hit 6th. It's Taylor Openheis at first base batting 7th, followed by Lauren Bogard in center field, and the pitcher Mackenzie Johnson. Lauren Olson is the flex player. She'll play second base but will not bat. Bruno, Deutscher, Barnes, Dazinski, Lozano, Bartkey, Openheis, Bogard, and Johnson the batting order, with Olson the flex player for Benedictine. And Mackenzie Johnson will look to bounce back from the loss moments ago and make her 21st start. She's 17-6 now At the start of play, she had struck out 143 in 130 innings and had pitched to a 1.99 ERA that has now nosed just above the solid 2 mark. Of course, those stats haven't been updated in the system yet, so we'll keep it as it was as play began today. That's Benedictine's lineup. Now Christina Lucas. And the Dominican University Stars will field this lineup in their second game of the day, and it is Emma Woodhouse getting the start for the second time, as it was with Mackenzie Johnson for BU. It'll be her 24th start. She is 18-6 after the win earlier at the start of play today. 105 strikeouts in 139 and 1/3 innings with a 1.81 ERA. That was in the top 2 in the NACC. Sarah Cornell leads off. She'll be in center field. Liliana Santoyo is the shortstop hitting second. 3, 4, and 5 are the designated player Reagan Davis, the second baseman Isabella Olmos, and the third baseman Riley Davis. Catcher Kaylee Diaz-Randall is in the 6 hole, followed by the left fielder Hannah Vogel, who plays left field. The first 7 will all bat from the right. The last 2 hit from the left side, the first baseman Jillian Zubernat and the right fielder Kayla Amormino. Cornell, Santoyo, Davis, Olmos, Davis, Diaz-Randall, Vogel, Zubernat, and Amormino, the lineup for Dominican in our final game of the day. Simon Steiner is the home plate umpire. Fred Schlesinger will be at first. And Mark Ginsky, who was an umpire in our previous game, is back out for his second consecutive game, and he will be at third base. Those are your lineups and your umpires here at Bedrosian Stadium on Spartan Athletic Park, just south of the gorgeous Aurora University campus. Who will play Concordia, Wisconsin tomorrow? We'll find out shortly. This is the 2025 NACC tournament. Introductions are complete before Game 5 of the NACC tournament and our third and final game of today. Game 5 of double elimination, more accurately, and the 9th game overall. That'll be played noon tomorrow is when we start things off. If CUW wins, it's over. If they lose, we'll play the if necessary game. That was required last year in Dominican's thrilling win over Lakeland. Emma Woodhouse in the circle. Here's Dominican's defensive alignment. Kaylee Diaz-Randall behind the plate. Left to right around the infield is Riley Davis, Liliana Santoyo, Isabella Olmos, and Jillian Zubernat. In right field, it's Kayla Amormino. Sarah Cornell is in center, and Hannah Vogel plays in left. That's how they line up. Throw is down the second. And we will be underway here in a matter of moments. 67 degrees, brilliant sunshine, no clouds anywhere at Lakefront. Still making its way through, and that's pushing the wind in out of center field. 15 miles per hour, gusting north of 20. So it's a breezy day, but what else would you expect in the Fox River Valley? We have been excellent about being on time in this tournament. 4 o'clock sharp as Morgan Bruno digs in to face Emma Woodhouse for the first time today, and the first pitch is just off the zone. Ball 1 to Bruno. We went 2 for 4 earlier today and has now reached in 27 straight. Looks at strike 1 from home plate umpire Simon Steiner. And a 1-1 count. The pitch was elevated and lifted into shallow left. Running back to get it, Santoyo covers a lot of ground and makes the catch. And the leadoff batter for Benedictine is retired. 200 to the foul poles here at Bedrosian Stadium. It's 220 to center. And we see the shadows from the light towers have started to stretch into fair territory. And by the time we're done with this game, we might see some of third base in the dark as well. It's also getting to be that time of day where it is rough to play on the right side of the field here as the sun is setting behind the third base bleachers. Brianna Deutscher took a ball and then fouled off the next pitch, either off her leg or her foot, but in any case, she crumpled to the ground in some evident distress and has popped back up and is intent on walking it off. And the home plate umpire will go out and brush off the plate to give her an additional moment. Deutscher's right back in the box. 1 for 2, walked, was hit by a pitch, and scored twice. And a productive first game against Concordia, Wisconsin. She'll look at ball 2 from Woodhouse. 357, her average at the start of play. Homered once, drove in 25. Woodhouse winding and dealing and throwing one by Deutscher. We have an unusual uniform matchup here with both teams wearing white. So I'll need to be more specific, and I'll attempt to do so in a moment. Here's the 2-2. Deutscher spoils it. Dominican in white uniform tops, navy blue numbers and letters outlined in gold. Dominican on the front, a star logo on the left sleeve, navy pants and white socks. Dominican in a white uniform with black sleeves, black letters and numbers outlined in red. Benedictine in script on the front. White pants, black stirrup socks with white and red stripes. 2-2 pitch, hit high into center. No trouble for Sarah Cornell. There's 2 away. I could only see it being a bit confusing with runners on. There's no real issue at the moment. We'll see if it becomes a problem later. Haley Barnes fouls off the first pitch. Came in with a 400 average at the start of play and a team leading 14 doubles, 9 homers, and 40 driven in. And she added to that by hitting an RBI double in the first inning against CUW. It was her only hit. She also reached via walk. Woodhouse misses with her second pitch. The count evens at 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on, and top of the first of this elimination game. 1-1 is fouled over us and right on out of the building. There's nothing above us. There's no upper deck here. So if it's over us, it's out. It's way out, for that matter. Some picnic tables back there. They might need to be on the lookout. 1-2. Breaking ball and missed the outside corner. It's a groan from a few of the Stars faithful, but that wasn't especially that close given some of the others we've seen today, and we've seen a lot of pitches, folks. 2-2 is golfed to the center. Cornell have plenty of time for that as well. She makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3, top of the first. as Benedictine goes in order. No score for the Eagles. Dominican coming up. Mackenzie Johnson got about a 45-minute break from pitching and now is back, ready to throw a few more innings to try to pitch Benedictine into the championship round. Stars took both games against Benedictine back on April 8th, 11-3 in 6 innings and 6-4. The Stars tripled 5 times in the series. Reagan Davis had one of them and drove in 4 in game 1 in that run rule win. And the Dominican bullpen shined in game 2 with 4 shutout innings. After they took the lead in the bottom of the 5th with 3 innings, they were able to slam the door from there. Sarah Cornell takes ball 1 and then offers at Johnson's second pitch, and the count evens at 1 apiece. Cornell went 1 for 3 with an RBI in the opener and brings an 11-game hit streak into the nightcap. 1-1. Too high. Johnson into her motion again. The 2-1 is ripped at and sprayed back for a foul ball. And we're even at 2 apiece. Two. Foul off again. Cornell, the first of 5 righties in the order for Dominican. Looking to get it started for the Stars. Two is popped up. Shortstop Deutscher behind the bag at second. Puts that into the glove. 1 away to begin the first. Will be interesting to see. Now, playing back-to-back games is nothing new. They do that every weekend and usually twice a weekend. But it's a different look for Dominican versus Benedictine. Liliana Santoyo offers at the first pitch and fouls it off because Benedictine, more of the traditional way for them. They just played. You go off. You collect yourself. You go back out, play another. Dominican had to wait. Had to watch a whole game and try to remain loose and in some kind of a routine. Johnson runs inside and Santoyo twists out of the way. It's 1-1. On the other side of that, maybe the great equalizer between the 2 wait times and how different or not different that is from a usual weekend. Johnson misses high and the count runs to 2-1. Is it's both pitchers coming back, which you don't typically see in the regular season, at least not in a starting capacity. 2-1 misses. That's a 3-1 count. And so again, I mentioned in the previous game we saw Aurora's Caitlin Seraphin throw nearly 200 pitches. Katie Pollock was also in that game. She did throw 200 pitches. It's not that they can't do it. Count's going to be full to Santoyo as Johnson finds the zone. But it's not all at once either. There's a little break in there, and we'll see who handles it better. 3-2 is pulled through the left side. 1-out single, and Santoyo, who doubled earlier today, has her second hit of Saturday. They'll bring Reagan Davis to the plate. Davis went 1 for 3 with an RBI earlier. She's hit in 4 straight. 9 doubles, 5 triples, a homer, and 33. A team-leading mark for the freshman Davis, who looks at ball 1 down and in. And then we also have a battle of fundamental softball. Well, first we have a stoppage here, as it looks like Mackenzie Johnson is bleeding and is holding out her pitching hand. And the trainer is going to come out and see what they can do here. So this is an interesting development. So Johnson's going to get a little bit of treatment here, and we'll see what they can do. Might not have much choice but to go to the liquid Band-Aid if that's on hand. Doubt they would be able to wrap any part of her finger, but we'll see what's going to be in play here. So we have a pause. I was about to say that it's also 2 teams that run the bases well. And this is number 1 and number 2 in stolen bases. When it comes to putting down sacrifices, both teams are very good, and Stars are among the leaders in the nation in that category. It's about as good as it gets. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Mackenzie Johnson's back into the circle. She wears a batting glove under her pitching glove. She was holding her right hand out as if that was the injured hand. Looks like we're all right, and she'll throw the 1-0 here to Reagan Davis after getting the treatment. And pitch is too low. The count to Reagan Davis with 1 on and 1 out. Johnson misses again. And here is the 3-0. It is not in the zone either. 4-pitch walk to Davis. Moves the first run of the game, potentially, in the scoring position. And now you do wonder if whatever malady that Johnson suffered, and if it was on her right hand, if it's bothering her with the location, because since then she hasn't thrown a strike. She was already behind Davis 1-0, so that's 4 straight misses. Isabella almost batting here with 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the first. Johnson finds the zone under the letters. That wasn't a particularly confident-looking pitch either, but it is a 1-1 count. Almost was 1 for 3 earlier. Started play hitting .351 with team best 4 homers. 23 driven in. Johnson misses again. It's 2-1 now. 2-1 pitch. Elevated again. 3-1 coming up. The Stars cleanup batter in danger of walking. The base is loaded. And Johnson again appears to be looking at her right hand. 3-1 runs in on the hands of Olmos, and Johnson's again looking at her hand and appears to now just be throwing some dirt on it. Well, that's an interesting strategy to deal with some kind of an injury on your throwing hand. 3-2. Another walk. Bases are loaded with one out, and Kate Heidkamp is out of the dugout. And it looks like Johnson is going to walk off here, and that's it. Now, Johnson has the ability to re-enter, but is going to need more significant treatment here. And into the game is Morgan Magnabosco. So a pitching change here with Dominican loading the bases and only one out in the bottom of the first. This is the 2025 NACC tournament. Difficult and unfortunate situation for Benedictine starter Mackenzie Johnson, who appeared to suffer some kind of injury to her right hand, and that is her throwing hand, so she had to go into the dugout after walking back-to-back batters. The bases are now loaded, and Morgan Magnabosco is in under about the most difficult circumstance imaginable. The sophomore from Tinley Park has been sharp out of the bullpen for Benedictine. So that's the good news. It's her 12th appearance and 7th out of the pen. Just 5 earned runs in 30 and 1/3 innings. That's a 1.15 ERA. Struck out 8. Let's see what she can do here with the bases loaded. Now, first off, we have a pause here, and that is because the many changes are being relayed up here. And there are going to need to be a few, as Johnson was in the 9th spot of the lineup. But it appears now that Jasmine Lozano has moved to second base out of left field. And that's not all for the changes. So we'll try to run them down for you as Magnabosco starts Riley Davis off with strike 1. So here they are. Jenna Barkey moves to left field. Lozano to second base. Dazinski to right field. Pitch in the dirt makes it 1-1. Johnson now becomes the designated player. Magnabosco into pitch, and she's in the flex spot that Lauren Olson had been in. So that's all the changes. Magnabosco misses up and in to Davis, and it's 2-1. Did you get all that, folks? Two-one is a breaking ball, and it's in the dirt, and now a dire spot for Benedictine. 3-1 with the bases loaded to Riley Davis. Went 2 for 3 with an RBI double earlier. Again, the infield is drawn in, and Magnabosco will lead to find the zone. Gets a roll over to third, and it caroms off Barnes right to Deutscher, who didn't have a play anywhere. Santoyo scores, everyone is safe, and it's Dominican who's on the board first. Kaylee Diaz-Randall now to the plate. She'll offer at the first pitch and fouls it away. Credited as an error on Barnes. No RBI. Infield still in. As Magnabosco misses down and in. Stars now 13-0 and scoring in the first inning this year. Fly ball to center. Bogard looking for it, makes the catch. Now Davis tags. The throw is cut off. It's 2-0 Dominican as Diaz-Randall connects on the sac fly. There are 2 outs. And now Hannah Vogel batting to try to extend the inning and increase the damage. Line drive off the glove of Magna Bosco to Deutscher, charging, throw to first in time. Could have been a lot worse. 2 runs in, 1 earned on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 stranded. It's the Stars on the board, 2-0 through an inning here at Bedrosian. What was said? That's for sure. Middle of the order to up for Benedictine in the top of the second. Dominican has a 2-0 lead after take advantage of a Benedictine error. Among other situations that developed in that first inning, and now Victoria Dazinski, after taking a strike, hits a shot back at Emma Woodhouse, who makes the catch in self-defense. Woodhouse just trying to get out of the way there, got the glove up, and it stuck. Let's take another look, shall we? Hello. Glove save by Woodhouse, and the first out of the inning. I think what's not going to get enough credit there, as Jasmine Lozano takes ball 1, is that Woodhouse knew exactly how to get out of the way of that. She kept the glove up as she was falling away to give herself a chance to make a play. That is pitcher's fielding. It's a pop-up just out of the reach of Olmos, and Lozano has her second hit of the day. Went 1 for 3 against CUW and has a 1-out bloop get on base here. It's a little unfair sometimes, isn't it? A hard hit ball is an out, and then Lozano gets out the sand wedge and not hit it very hard at all, but did hit it just enough. So she's on. Dazinski's out. Jenna Bartke's at the plate and takes strike 1. Bartke went 0 for 3 against the Falcons. So she's looking to get into the hit column today, and she'll look at ball 1. At 3:52 at the beginning of play. Would need a few hits in this one. Keep it at that mark. 1-1 off the hands. Diving for it was Riley Davis. She couldn't make the play, and it caromed away from Santoyo. Ended up fielding the ball, but wasn't able to get to second in time to get Lozano, and everybody's safe. It actually would have been better if Davis hadn't laid out for it. I think Santoyo might have had the better chance. Tying run on base, and Taylor Oppenhei's up with 2 on and 1 out. She swings the first pitch, roasts it down the left field line. Lozano is around third and will score. Looks like Barkey will stop at third. 3 straight hits, and it's Openheis who curls a RBI double down the line. And that halves the Dominican advantage. A brief visit at the circle from the infield, and now Lauren Bogard will try to tie it up. Good response by Benedictine, but still work to do. Bogard went 1 for 3 earlier. 9 RBIs on the season. The infield is in, and she lays a bunt down, but isn't able to keep it in fair territory. That is simply trying to make the defense make a decision. With speed on the base paths all over this lineup, I want to try to force a choice. 0-1. This time Bogard not showing bunt, but she won't be swinging either as Woodhouse sends a riser up face mask high. 2-1 for now, 2 in scoring position with 1 out in the top of the second. Bogard takes a look, the 1-1 is lifted foul. One ball, 2 strikes to the freshman center fielder. Woodhouse in a jam and trying to wriggle out of it. Elevates. Bogard won't offer. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bogard trying to tie it up. It's a lot of space between the drawn-in infield and the outfield. It's playing relatively deep. 2-2, too high again. The count is full. First base is open. Mackenzie Johnson is in the on-deck circle. Under what circumstances will she bat? Payoff pitch to Bogard. It runs up and in. The bases are loaded. And now Johnson, who had to exit the first inning. You can see her still shaking that right hand a little bit, but she steps in a big spot. Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch, and that's hacked at and sprayed foul. Anxious moments early in our last game today. Infield is still in with the sacks full. 0-1, ground ball, and that'll trickle foul. So Johnson is being aggressive. Now has to control that aggression. Again, the outfield is playing deep. I don't want anything getting behind them, but there is plenty of space to hit it into. Woodhouse goes to the waist pitch on 0-2. Spins it up shoulder high on the 6-foot Johnson. And that will get Diaz Randall out to talk to Woodhouse. Wonder if there might have been a mix-up on the signs. So after a brief pause, everyone's back. Johnson can certainly swing the bat. She hit 373 at Triton last season. 333 entering play today. 1 for 3 earlier today. A 1-2 count against Woodhouse, and she rolls it in. Good block by Diaz-Randall behind the plate. Stars don't give up bases that way. They have the fewest wild pitches in the league and the third fewest passed balls. They've been very good back there. 2-2's too high, and it's a full count with the bases loaded. From 0-2 to a full count. And now a hugely important pitch as Dominican is clinging to a lead. Woodhouse trying to find a way out of this. Here is the 3-2, and Johnson just gets the bat out. And she will fight another pitch. It's not supposed to be this tense this early. An elimination game, and my goodness, the drama has been high. And not even a minute and a half into the game. 3-2 again to Johnson with the bases loaded. It's too high, and we're tied. Johnson collects an RBI without taking the bat off the shoulder. It's 2 apiece, and the top of the order is back up for Benedictine. Morgan Bruno popped out to lead off the ball game. 2 of 5 on the afternoon now, facing Woodhouse for the second time, and takes a strike at the letters. Infield still in for the Stars. 0-1, too tall. So Woodhouse actively attacking the top of the zone, trying to get a pop out, but Bruno wouldn't offer. And now awaits the 1-1, too tall again. Stirring in the Dominican bullpen. Rhiannon Rubio, who has been the frequent Game 2 starting pitcher for Dominican, is loosening up, and will we see her? That's 3 straight misses to Bruno. A hitter's count for the junior from Romeoville, and on 3-1 takes a strike over the inside corner. Count is full. 3-2, hit hard but foul. Is out in front protecting. Seventh batter of the inning. After a line out, the next 5 have reached. 2 singles, an RBI double, back-to-back walks, the last with the bases loaded. Count is still full as Woodhouse is into her motion, and Bruno is out in front again. That is lashed in to the Dominican bullpen. Rubio has stopped throwing, and so it would appear that this might be it. Woodhouse can't get an out here. 3-2, Bruno lifts it in the center. Cornell runs on, makes the catch. And after a start down the line, Openheis hits the brakes, and it's just a fly out to center field. Not get enough on it. That'll move the infield back and bring Brianna Deutscher to the plate. Deutscher flew out last inning. Put together a really good first game against Concordia, Wisconsin after going hitless through the first 2. First pitch, hit out to right, a sinking liner, and it short hops into a diving Amormino. 1 run in, here comes a second. Benedictine has doubled up Dominican with a 4-run top of the second. Openheis and Bogard both score. Johnson goes first to third. And a terrific effort by Kayla Amormino, but wasn't able to get there. And the 2-out single ends the day for Emma Woodhouse. She goes off, and it's not Rhiannon Rubio. It is Liberty Rivard in out of the bullpen for the Stars. Benedictine still threatening, although a pitching change here in the top of the second. In progress with the Eagles in front 4-2. Liberty Rivard in a difficult spot. She enters in relief of Emma Woodhouse with runners on the corners. 2 outs and trying to extinguish what is so far a 4-run inning for Benedictine. 4-2 now the Eagles lead. Haley Barnes is the 9th batter of the inning. She is 0 for 1. Has had a terrific NACC tournament. Rivard misses with her first 2 tosses. And it goes from difficult to extremely difficult against the dangerous Eagles third baseman. 2-0. Offered at and hit deep. Center field. Cornell to the track. Has enough room and makes the catch to end the inning. Sarah Cornell has played a terrific center field for Dominican in this game all tournament long and has made it look rather easy out there. 4 runs in on 4 hits, no errors, and runners left on the corners as the Eagles go out trailing 2-0 and go back into the dugout, leading the Stars 4-2. Bottom of the second inning coming up here at Bedrosian. Eight 9-1 due up for Dominican in the bottom of the second in what has already been an action-packed and drama-filled final game of this Saturday. Morgan Magnabosco is just the second pitcher Benedictine has used this weekend and took them to an elimination game on Saturday to use it. And again was thrust into duty because of Mackenzie Johnson appearing to deal with some kind of a wound to her throwing hand. But Magnabosco, no stranger to pitching effectively in relief, and now will be called upon to do it for, you would think, a significant amount of time. She'll face Jillian Zubernat, first of back-to-back lefties to wrap up the order for the Stars. It's a looping breaking ball to get it started to the senior out of Woodridge. She went 1 for 2 with a sacrifice against MSOE earlier, and then she's out in front of another off-speed pitch. It's going to be an adjustment. Mackenzie Johnson is arguably the hardest throwing pitcher in this tournament, and Morgan Magnabosco has gone to some very slow off-speed stuff so far and goes to it again, and it loops its way in above the letters. That can be a tough spot for a pitcher to come into once an opponent settles in and does stuff like that. Good piece of hitting by Zubernat. Waited on a off-speed pitch and took it the other way for a leadoff single. Hard to do a lot better than that. A really nice piece of hitting for the senior. And now Kayla Amormino, who had batted from the left side. And I mentioned to you in the last game that we saw her taking swings in the batting cage from the right side. Here she is, batting from the right side. First pitch is fouled off. I don't know how long she's been a switch hitter for. We had not seen it the entire time, but now she steps to the plate and is on the other side, and we'll see how she does. 0-1 after the foul tip, shows bunt, tips it foul again. Counts 1-1. We are told that the first pitch was an illegal pitch. 1-1. High fly ball into right, running on. Dazinski hasn't had to field the ball much. Was able to run it down. And I stand corrected. That was not Dazinski. That was Bartkey, who had been in left field. She moves into right field and actually traded places with Dazinski, who's now in left. Just to make things a little more interesting. Changes everywhere as the lineup turns over to Sarah Cornell. She'll take strike one from Magna Bosco. And then the second pitch is swung on, and it got away from Bruno. A wild pitch moves Zubernat into scoring position. However, or stand corrected, passed ball actually will be the call. But a swinging strike all the same, and an 0-2 count coming up. Cornell now needing to protect and is rung up on the breaking ball. 2 down. Well, you wonder how a pitcher deals with less velocity. That's how. Not bad at all. And now Liliana Santoyo will try to draw Dominican closer. Singled and scored last inning. She bats here with Zubernat out on second base. Magna Bosco hits the corner at the knees. You do wonder, Mackenzie Johnson can re-enter. Will we see her at some point? Breaking ball that just missed. One. Magna Bosco runs a pitch inside, and that one doesn't find the zone either. 2-1 to Santoyo. Now 4 of 8 in this conference tournament. Out in front of the hook. Swings and misses. This Dominican lineup is no joke. Certainly not the top of it, and Magna Bosco is managing it nicely. But the job is not done. Santoyo fights off the 2-2. 4-2, Eagles in front. And Santoyo trying to extend the inning. Magna Bosco gets a check swing. They tag Santoyo, the appeal. She didn't go. Now Santoyo ran down the first. Was that a 3-ball count? I didn't think so. I had it as a 2-2 count. Kate Heidkamp is explaining. Up here, I think the count should be full. And that is Kate Heidkamp's appeal. And indeed, Santoyo heads back to the box, and it is a full count. Wonder if Santoyo knew what she was doing there. I guess we'll never know. We'll see the payoff pitch here with 2 outs. And a roller to third. Barnes stepped on the bag at third, but there was no force. So Santoyo may have intentionally or otherwise fooled Haley Barnes. She thought the inning was over, and instead Santoyo reaches. I think that should be a fielder's choice. There was a play to be made, and it just was not. Nobody's out. It's not a hit either. Reagan Davis will bat with 2 on and 2 outs in the second. Magna Bosco right back to the breaking ball and in for strike 1. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. 0-1 popped up, and it won't matter. Brianna Deutscher makes the catch and spikes the ball in celebration afterwards. Well, that nearly became quite a situation. Benedictine gets out of the inning damage-free. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. The Stars struggling to hit situationally. They're 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position and trail Benedictine 4-2 through a couple. Pitches being thrown out there. I mean, sooner or later, you're bound to miss one. No one's happy about it, but it's going to happen. That's what I hear. Top of the third inning coming up here, 4-2. It was a most interesting sequence in that second inning where Liliana Santoyo went to second base after taking ball 3, or went to first base after taking ball 3, was sent back, then hit a ground ball, and it fooled the Benedictine third baseman who went to get a force that didn't exist. And the Eagles got out of the jam anyway. Now Liberty Rivard is tasked with keeping Benedictine from scoring anymore. She starts off a cleanup batter, Victoria Dazinski, with back-to-back balls. And then Dazinski lifts it in the center field, and that's an easy one for Sarah Cornell, who once again has patrolled center field expertly in this one. And you begin to understand why Dominican plays a deep, no doubles outfield defense. That's because they have fielders who can run a lot down. Dazinski's 0 for 2. Jasmine Lozano digs in. She started the rally in the second, but taps right back to Rivard here, who throws the first with plenty of time to get the junior, and it's 2 up and 2 down to start off the third. Jenna Bartkey, like Lozano before her, singled and came around the score in the second inning. Rivard to a fastball and got that out of the way of Bartkey's bat. 0-1 as Bartkey tries to make it a 2-hit second game of the day. Rivard comes up and in. Bartkey ducks out of the way. 1-1 the count. One pitch. Bottom fell out. And Bartkey swung over the top. Good pitch by Rivard. Bartkey has been off balance this entire plate appearance, and now the sophomore from Bradley, Illinois, will try to finish the job. It's a foul ball off of Bartkey's foot. She'll get another try, but also will possibly need an ice pack after this one. 4 runs on 4 hits for Benedictine, all coming in the second inning. 2 runs on 2 hits for Dominican. The runs in the first, the hits evenly split. Bartkey out in front again. Has not timed Liberty Rivard yet. Seems like she's up there looking for heat that Rivard is not intent on delivering. We'll try the 1-2 again. Rivard winds and spins a pitch up. I think that is what Bartkey's been looking for, but something in the zone she can attack. It's a 2-2 count. The pitch. Tapped right out in front. A perfect swinging bunt. Rivard has to be quick and got it off to Zubernat with the stretch at the end of the play. A bang-bang play. Dominican finishes off a 1-2-3 inning, and we're through 2.5. Benedictine in front, 4-2. Middle of the Dominican order due up in the bottom of the third inning. It is 4-2 in our final game of the day, an elimination game to determine who will be in the NACC championship round tomorrow. Using the term round with an asterisk, it'll be a game if Concordia, Wisconsin wins, and I guess a full round if they do not. Strike one into Isabella Olmos, who reached on a walk, and that was the last batter Mackenzie Johnson faced. So she'll get Morgan Magnabosco and sends a bunt down, but it's right back at the pitcher. No chance to get the lightning quick Olmos. Off the bat, I thought, well, that has a little too much on it. And I was wrong. Almost had a stolen base earlier today. She is 29 of 29 on the season. And I suspect that is what Kate Heidkamp wants to discuss right here. If Almost decides to go, you can basically forget about it. So you'd think that the first item of business is going to be, well, how can we defend against a steal? You can't throw over. That's not a play here. And making matters more difficult is that Magna Bosco does not throw as hard as Mackenzie Johnson. And you have a chance, although a slim one, of getting Olmos if you can really blaze one in, but otherwise it's tough. Runner goes, and even with a good throw, no chance to get Olmos. That is game-changing speed, but she left too early, and she's out. Christina Lucas is going to plead her case, but that is about the only way that Olmos is going to be retired. One away, and the base is now empty for Riley Davis, who took ball one, or rather she took strike one. Now ball one. One pitch. Rolled up the middle. Deutscher to her left. Fields it. The throw in the dirt. Open highs with the split. Scooped it up. 2 away. Now Kaylee Diaz-Randall will bat. Sacrifice fly in the first for the sophomore catcher. Takes ball one as it caroms away in the dirt. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, waited on, rolled up the middle, and it's off the heel of Deutscher's glove and in to center field. 2-out error. Tying run to the plate. And it's Hannah Vogel looking to extend the inning. It's the second Benedictine error. Vogel retired on a ground out to end the first. Waits on a breaking ball and pounds it foul. Vogel 3 for 3 against CUW. So clearly is seeing the ball well right now. 0-1, a bunt attempt in play. Barnes has to be quick in time. Glad I didn't have to make that call. It ends the inning. 5-3. A hit, an error, one left to the fourth. Benedictine in front, 4-2. Bottom third of the order due up for Benedictine. Top of the fourth inning. It's 4-2 Eagles. It has been a most interesting game. We'll put it that way. It's had it all so far. 1 hour of play to get through 3 innings. 4 hits for Benedictine, 3 for Dominican. BU has a couple of errors. There's been 2 pitching changes. Close plays. Difficult scoring decisions. All over the board here. First 2 to Taylor open highs have missed. Liberty Rivard will look for the strike zone here and finds it on the outside corner. Lauren Bogard and Mackenzie Johnson set to hit in the 4th inning for the Eagles. Appears that Kaylee Diaz-Randall needed the moment. Maybe he got some dust in the eye. Now back to the 2-1 pitch, and Rivard misses down and away. 3-1 to open highs, who had an RBI double in the 2nd inning. That plated Lozano. 3-1. Fly ball to left. Vogel to her left slightly. An easy play for the senior left fielder. And there's one away. Rivard making her 11th appearance out of the bullpen and 15th in total. She entered with a 2.12 ERA in 39 2/3 innings. And so far has gotten 5 outs run free out of the pen today. Has been very effective when inserted mid-game and has continued to be so in this elimination game. She misses outside to Lauren Bogard, who walked and came around the score in the 2nd inning on the 2-run single from Brianna Deutscher. Rivard back to the outside corner. This time moved it in just a bit and got the edge. 1-1. Rivard working quickly. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Appearing to make a concerted effort to stay away against Bogard, who has had a very nice NACC tournament. Ground ball to short. Santoyo waits on it, looks it into the glove, and then throws out Bogard by a couple of steps. 2 down. Now, Johnson had a bases loaded walk in the 4-run 2nd. First pitch swinging here, and a bunt in the dirt is foul. Counts 0-1. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. You do wonder, whatever the issue is with Johnson's hand, and it appeared to be a cut of some sort from up here. You do wonder if BU is playing tomorrow, will she be okay to be in that game? Here's a ground ball to first. Not fielded cleanly immediately by Zubernap, but with plenty of time to recover, step on the bag for a 2nd straight 1-2-3 inning. 3 of the 4 innings for Dominican, and their defense have been 1-2-3. It was the 9 that came to the plate in the 2nd that is the reason they are trailing. Halfway home in this elimination game, and Benedictine leads Dominican 4-2. We begin the bottom of the fourth. Jillian Zubernat, first pitch swinging and rolled over it to second. Jasmine Lozano on it. And a quick first out in the bottom of the fourth. Now Kayla Amormino back to the dish once again from the right side. First pitch swinging, loops it in the left, running on Dazinski. Makes the catch. She's been the designated player for Benedictine's first 3 games. I am going to guess that that is her family out in front of us as she gestures, and they return the gesture back. 2 up and 2 down. And now Cornell first pitch swinging, rolled back out to Magna Bosco, who fires the first. It is a 3-pitch, 1, 2, 3, 4th to the 5th. Shortest inning I've ever seen. 4-2, Benedictine in front. Everything's got to go right for a game under an hour. Everything. They got to be swinging at everything. It's got to be like an 8-0 game. Top of the order for the top of the 5th for Benedictine. They lead 4-2. Well, the bullpens have been quite good in this game. Liberty Rivard, 2 1/3 shutout. Morgan Magna Bosco, 3 2/3 shutout. The latter in line for the win. Morgan Bruno is 0 for 2, but the opposite is true of the count she's facing after Rivard misses with the first 2 pitches. Bruno should get something to hit here, and she'll stare one down through the inside half. Benedictine 21-2 this season when leading through 4 innings. Hard hit ground ball to short, and Santoyo doesn't make the play. Leadoff error will bring Brianna Deutscher to the plate. First pitch swinging and out in front for a foul ball. Santoyo, I think, on that last play just rushed it. Had plenty of time to make the play, even going a little bit to her right. Bruno had barely gotten out of the batter's box. And it is Dominican's first error of the day. Here's the 0-1. It's off the plate wide, and it's a 1-1 count. And again, here again the problem. Morgan Bruno can fly as the conference leader in stolen bases. Here she goes, and Deutscher gets a piece and rolls it foul. 4-2, Benedictine in front. 2 runs for the Stars in the bottom of the first. Eagles answered back with 4 in the top of the second, and it's been zeros on the scoreboard since. 1-2 pitch, fly ball to center. Cornell barely has to move, now jogs forward and puts away out number 1. Bruno heads back to first. We'll see if she tries it again. Haley Barnes to the plate looking for her first hit against Dominican, at least in this game. And a ball taken upstairs. A pump fake on the throw by Diaz-Randall to see if she could fool Bruno, who had not gotten more than about maybe a dozen feet off the base at first. It's a 1-0 count. Pitch. Runner goes, swing and a miss, and the throw is not in time. The throw was to the first base side of the bag and short. Would have been tough to get a swipe tag on for where that was thrown. Now a runner in the scoring position, and Barnes looks at ball 2 as it climbed in letter high. 2-1. Stevenson High School alum, the northwest suburbs, has a loud rooting contingency here. Has to twist out of the way of a pitch up and in. 3-1 count for Barnes. It's all over the league leaderboard. Takes ball 4. It was close enough that Barnes started and then thought she needed to get permission to keep going. Two on now for Victoria Dazinski. She's 0 for 2. Rivard runs a pitch inside and misses. One out. And Rivard curls one over the outside corner. One. Chopper to first. Zubernat went up to her toes to pull that one in. And she'll step on the bag at third. I think almost would have been there to save the day if it got past her, but Zubernat leaves nothing to chance. But now a couple in scoring position after what at the least was a productive out. Jasmine Lozano, 1 for 2 on the game. Takes an off-speed pitch that scatters the dust in front of Diaz-Randall. 4-2. 2 on. Top of the 5th inning. Benedictine looking to extend their lead. Lozano, a liner up the middle. That will bring in at least one. Cornell comes up throwing and, in fact, will run it nearly all the way in. A wise decision. It keeps Lozano from advancing on a throw, but Benedictine extends its lead. Barnes goes to third. It's 5-2. Eagles in front. Lozano 2 for 3. It took her until the game against CUW to pick up her first hit of the tournament. And now is locked in. Kate Heidkamp came out. There's not a pinch runner. It's a pinch hitter. And it will be Mia Giamarisi. An important spot here, pinch hitting in the 5th with runners on the corners and 2 outs. She attacks the first pitch and rolls it out to short. Santoyo takes her time this time and throws out Giamarisi for the 3rd and final out. An unearned run on 1 hit, 1 error. Runners left on the corners. The lead is now 3 through 4.5. Benedictine is in front, 5-2. 2-3-4-2 up for Dominican in the bottom of the fifth. Been a compelling elimination game here today. 5-2, Benedictine leading. Stars trying to start the road back. Mentioned earlier in the tournament how good they have been about fighting all the way to the final out. A number of comebacks this season. Liliana Santoyo takes a looping strike one and looks at strike two. Outside corner, now inside corner. And Morgan Magnabosco can go anywhere right now. But what will she elect? Foul tip. Was out on the outer half of the plate. Dominican has just not been able to time up the sophomore. Andrew High School alum. Has really been outstanding this season in limited use. Here's a bunt right back to her. Santoyo's out by a couple of strides. Magnabosco has only allowed a couple of hits. He's retired 5 straight. And we'll have a pinch hit opportunity, surprisingly, for Reagan Davis, who's been hitting the ball about as well as anybody. But Priscilla Rudder will come in as Christina Lucas is looking for another look. Now she's in the designated player spot. Davis had walked and scored in the first before a pop out to end the second. Again, this is the team leader in doubles, triples, and RBIs, being pinch hit for in the 3 spot, down 3. But Priscilla Rudder, who takes strike one, is hitting .397 in more limited at-bats with 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 12 driven in. So certainly not a bad option the way she has hit this year. And so Christina Lucas evidently wanting to see if the left-handed batting senior can have more luck. 1-1 for Magnabosco is buried. Well, let's face it, Dominican hasn't hit the ball in this game. They have 3 so far through 4 innings. Why not? Foul ball as Magnabosco comes in with what feels like a rare fastball that time. Hasn't gone to it very much at all. Attack to the bottom of the zone there, and Rudder wasn't able to catch it, or at least not enough of it. And so the 2-2 is a breaking ball, and it's tipped up the first baseline and foul. Count remains 2-2. 1 out, nobody on in the 5th. Breaking ball hit hard, but it hooks foul and sprays a few rubber pellets out there in foul territory. And I think that kind of contact is what Coach Lucas had in mind for the Stars. Will she be able to straighten it out? How does Magnabosco respond to the hard hit foul ball? 2-2. Runs up in on the hands, and that is launched into the Benedictine bullpen. So Rudder battling, 8th pitch coming up. It's the longest plate appearance of the game so far, or at least matching it for the moment. And now it will be the longest as Magnabosco misses outside. Here's the payoff pitch. Hit to the right side and past the reach of Openhighs. It split the fielders on the right side. It's a 1-out single. So that's exactly what Christina Lucas was hoping to see. And now Isabella Olmos, who's a tough out under the best of conditions, digs in, trying to move the line. Magnabosco splashes an off-speed pitch in front of Morgan Bruno. And counts 1-0. Upstairs, a 2-0 count. Almost 4 of 8 on the tournament. Ground ball to third. Barnes looked to second, didn't have a play at the bag, but quickly decided to get Olmos instead. And does throw out the speedy second baseman. Rudder advances to second. She is in the scoring position for Riley Davis. Down by 3. The Stars are 0 for 5 with a runner in scoring position. Davis, first pitch swinging, rolls it to short. Deutscher fields it, pops up, throws out Davis. Dominican goes quietly again in the bottom of the 5th. 1 out single, stranded in scoring position. Nothing else, and we'll head to the 6th. Benedictine leads Dominican 5-2. Taylor Openheiser and the 7th spot of the Benedictine order will lead off the top of the 6th as we get into the final outs of this one. Liberty Rivard continues out of the bullpen. Starts off Openheiser with ball 1 and then misses down and away with the fastball to fall behind 2-0. RBI double and a fly out on the line for Openheiser, who also scored in Benedictine's 4-run second. There's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, scooped up Santoyo. Terrific play. And she throws out Openheiser in one fluid motion. 1 down. Benedictine thought that was a base hit. Their fans certainly did, and I won't lie. Seemed very likely to me up here. Santoyo took it away with great range through the middle of the field. Now Lauren Bogard up for the 3rd time today. And looks at breaking ball outside. 0 for 1 with a walk and a run for Bogard. And pitch. Hit out to short again. Santoyo just a bit to her right this time. Fields it cleanly, and the throw is in time. 2 up, 2 down. That's 3 consecutive 6-3 outs recorded by Liberty Rivard. Santoyo getting her defensive work in out there right now. And now Mackenzie Johnson in the 9th spot up to the plate. And like the 2 that preceded her, she looks at ball 1. Bases loaded walk in the 2nd and a ground out in the 4th for Johnson today, who rolls another one over to shortstop. Santoyo will record all 3 outs. And a 1-2-3 6th. And Dominican will get the bats out yet again in the home half. They are running out of time. Season hanging in the balance. It's 5-2 Benedictine through 5.5. microphone on? Effectively wild a little bit, I think would be the way you would put it, but effective. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Dominican, the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-2 is the Benedictine lead. Kaylee Diaz-Randall starts it off and looks at ball one from Morgan Magnabosco. Continues to shine out of the BU bullpen. Ground ball to third off the glove of Barnes. It caroms to the shortstop Deutscher, and the throw's not in time to get Diaz-Randall. Diaz-Randall is aboard. And Hannah Vogel looks for her first hit. Takes a strike. Breaking ball in the outside corner. I think that should be a single. And here's a ground ball up the middle. Deutscher steps on the bag, and it's a 6-3 double play. That could not have been hit in a worse spot for Dominican. And that empties the bases for Jillian Zubernat. Takes a pitch in the dirt. Want to know the senior who's 1 for 2. Ball 2 in the dirt. Two-0 floats in for strike one. Magnabosco, 5 1/3 shutout out of the pen. Runs a breaking ball inside. Ball's behind Zubernat, 3-1. There has seldom been anything hit, even especially very hard right now. 3-1, tipped foul by Zubernat, and the count runs full. And you have to go to a pitcher you haven't used all tournament. You never know what you're going to get. What a performance. Hard hit ground ball to first, and off the tip of the glove of Openheis, who was looking for the backhand stop. That one caroms in the left field for a 2-out single. And now Kayla Amormino will once again bat from the right side. 0 for 2. Needs to find a way on to bring the tying run up. Waits at Magnabosco's first offer and flips it foul over the first base dugout. A 1. Trickler to short. Deutscher with no trouble fields it and throws out Amormino to end the inning. No runs on a hit. 2 hits, in fact. No errors. 1 left. To the 7th, Benedictine looks to tack on a few more. There are 3 outs from the win, but have to bat first. It's 5-2. They lead Dominican. Benedictine brings the top of the order to the plate. They lead 5-2. Morgan Bruno looks at ball one well off the plate. Liberty Rivard has been very good out of the Dominican pen. That has been the story on both sides of the field. Rivard fights back with strike one. It's a 1-1 count. And Bruno with a loop, but it's foul. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch. Rivard off speed and was trying to drop that on the outside corner, but wasn't able to find it, and the count runs to 2-2. Rivard into her motion again, misses outside, and the Eagles backstop. Works the count full to begin the seventh. Payoff pitch. Benedictine tries to set the table. Ground ball is short, and Santoyo once again running to her right. Was going to be a tough play and wasn't able to make it. I think they will credit that as an error, and now a bunt put down, and Rivard will field it and throw to Olmos, covering the bag. One down, and Bruno advances into scoring position for Haley Barnes. We'll try to open this up. And she'll take ball one down and away. 0 for 2 of the walk. 1-0. Good pitch by Rivard. Inside corner. 1-1 the count. Barnes looking for her first hit of the game. Takes ball two. Should also take the double play off, which will bring Victoria Dazinski to the plate. She's looking for her first hit. Barnes first, 2-1. She's out in front, chops it foul. Five runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for Benedictine. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for Dominican. Stars have stranded 7, Benedictine 4 so far, plus 1 out on base and hasn't had a chance. Chopper to the third. Davis has it. Tried to look back Bruno. Wasn't able to do so as the junior heads to third on the throw, which was in time to get Barnes. And Victoria Dazinski will bat with Bruno 60 feet from scoring. Team leader in batting average coming in. Offers at the first pitch and tips it foul. Rivard trying to get through one more shutout frame. Just allowed the single unearned run in the fifth after a leadoff error came around the score. She has given Dominican a chance. The bats have not caught up. 1-1 up the middle, base hit. 6-2 Benedictine as Dazinski. I wondered if she was overdue. Certainly was. Bruno scores for the second time today. Benedictine has Dominican on the brink, and Jasmine Lozano, who has been locked in today. First pitch swinging right back up the middle. That's her third hit. And then it gets under the glove of Cornell, but she got enough on it that it only rolled about 3 or 4 feet behind her. That moves Dazinski into scoring position. Still 2 outs, and that will be it for Liberty Rivard, as we'll have a pitching change. And Hannah Richards will come out of the bullpen and try to get the final out of the 7th. That was a fine outing by Liberty Rivard, but she leaves here as Benedictine puts one across in the 7th and are still threatening with 2 outs in the top half. 6-2 here in the 7th inning. Hannah Richards enters for Dominican, making her 6th appearance out of the bullpen. 2 earned in 6 2/3 with 8 strikeouts. She has been effective when into the game. She'll start off Jenna Bartkey with ball 1. Bartkey was pinch hit for last time. She's 1 for 2 of the runs scored. One-0 is in under the letters. Two on, 2 outs. Eagles with 1 in. They lead 6-2. Breaking ball that doesn't spin its way in, and Richards falls behind. 2-1. Rivard allows 3 hits. 1 walk, no strikeouts. Right now, a couple of unearned runs, and they will remain so, no matter how many come in. And right now, Richards has come out of the bullpen and worked a 3-1 count against Bartkey, trying not to load the bases and extend the threat. There's the 3-1 pitch, and that is in at the belt. So the count full, the runners will be off. Richards winds, and the payoff pitch is off the handle and right back at her. She fields it calmly, fires over to Zubernat, and that ends the inning. Benedictine adds 1 more, unearned in the 7th. 2 hits, an error, and 2 left. And the season is on the line. It's the last chance for Dominican coming up in the bottom of the 7th, with Benedictine leading 6-2. It will come down to the top of the Dominican order. Season on the line. The Stars at 31-11. Trying to avoid a 12th loss that would end the season. Sarah Cornell has been excellent in the field. She's 0 for 3 at the plate. The 382 mark coming in, it feels like a base hit is long overdue for the freshman from Upland, California. She fouls off a bunt attempt, gets a second one down that also trickles foul, and is in an immediate 0-2 hole against Morgan Magnabosco. Oh, 2 pitch, a close one and a good take. Magnabosco trying to punch out Cornell. Just missed, but succeeds on the second try. It's her first strikeout, 1 down. Liana Santoyo is 1 for 3. First pitch back up the middle off the foot of Magnabosco, and then it just settles between the circle and the line. Infield single, Santoyo is 2 for 4. I'll check on Magnabosco, but she insists that she's fine. I'll check on her anyway. I think she's gesturing to where it got her, and that'll make her do a little jog around the circle. I think you would call that going through the motions a little bit there, having a little fun with the situation. One on and 1 out, and Priscilla Rudder is back at the dish. She'll look at ball 1. Singled last time up. We'll look for similar success in the second trip. Out in front, 1-1. Dominican, the co-champions. We're trying to repeat as champs. There have been a few of those in recent years. Rolled over out to second. Lozano bobbled it and wasn't able to recover. Everyone is safe. Oh boy. Moves a runner in the scoring position for Isabella Olmos. There's 2 on. This one is not over. The infield will amass in the back of the circle and discuss this without Cade Heidkamp. What a spot. Olmos is 1 for 2 with a walk. Magnabosco gets a swinging bunt that bounced back and into the glove of Bruno behind the plate. Fortunately, it had spin on it. Otherwise, that's the worst case scenario, to be right there in front for the catcher. Back up the middle and through. Base hit. Around third is Santoyo. She scores. Almost delivers the RBI single. It's Dominican's first hit with a runner in scoring position in the game. And it brings Riley Davis to the plate as the tying run. Rudder is on second. There is still work to do. Almost on first. Davis is 0 for 3 and looks at a pitch that's too low. Magnabosco Misses again. Now the decision here is if Magna Bosco gets into a spot that she can't get out of, where does Kate Heidkamp turn? 2-0 pitch, a flare in the right, base hit. Barkey comes up throwing. The brakes are hit by Rudder at third. The bases are loaded. And there is one out. And now Kaylee Diaz-Randall is the potential winning run. Meanwhile, Riley Davis will be pinch run for by Leilani Guzman. And it has gotten mighty interesting. Diaz-Randall 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Now Kate Heidkamp is out to discuss. Jasmine Lozano, you would think, would be the next available pitcher, but she's at second base. It's not exactly ideal. But she goes into the dugout, and it would appear that she's going to come back into the game and pitch. That's exactly what's going to happen. Lauren Olson comes back into the game at second base, and we'll have a pitching change. The bases loaded and one out. So Jasmine Lozano will be asked to get the last 2 outs to send Benedictine into play tomorrow. 6-3 the score. Dominican threatening as they look for a 4-run rally or more to extend their season. Jasmine Lozano in looking for her first career save. Her 5th appearance out of the bullpen, 19th overall, 73 innings pitched, a 4.41 ERA, and 33 strikeouts. She pitched to a 7-7 record in the regular season. She replaces Morgan Magna Bosco and needs 2 outs. The tying run is on base. Kaylee Diaz-Randall, the potential winning run, already has an RBI today on the sacrifice fly. She'll face the right-handed Lozano here, who starts off Diaz-Randall with strike 1. Great game deserves a great finish, and we're going to get it. There's the 0-1. Breaking ball and just off the inside corner. Simon Steiner, the home plate umpire, shakes his head. Benedictine has turned only 7 double plays this season, including the one last inning. Line drive into left center, base hit! Rudder scores, almost around second. She scores as well. And the winning run is in scoring position. Can you believe this? A 2-run double for Kaylee Diaz-Randall. There are 3 runs in. The tying run is 60 feet away. Now a fly ball would succeed in extending the game. Infield is in against Hannah Vogel. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it over Morgan Bruno. With Guzman on third, you almost need a pop-up. Ground ball is going to make for a difficult decision. But a base hit might also win it. Here's the 0-1. It runs inside and it hits Vogel. The bases are loaded. Now it does have one effect. Now there's a play anywhere on the diamond, and if there's a ground ball, Benedictine can simply throw home. And rather than Jillian Zubernat, we'll see Madison Butler for another pinch hit opportunity. 0 for 2 in the tournament in these spots, but was hitting .459, coming in with 17 RBIs. The freshman can deliver the win to Dominican. Lozano looking in. Here's the pitch. And it is in at the letters for strike one. Hold your breath here at Bedrosian. Needing a 4-run rally or more, the Stars have gotten 3, and with just 1 out. The 0-1 pitch is on the outside corner, and it's an 0-2 count to Butler. And now Lozano, looking to put Butler away, goes outside and misses. One and two now the count. Lozano's pitch too high. Stars have their 8th batter at the plate. Are very likely to bring 9. Will it be enough? 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lozano gets the strikeout, and it all comes down to Kayla Amormino. A base hit, and it's likely over. Anything else, and it's likely over, and the result will depend on who moves on. First pitch to Amormino is fouled off. She is 0 for 3. How is anyone sitting down right now? Do you have any fingernails left? What a finish. 6-5, here's the 0-1. Outside corner, strike 2. Lozano and the Eagles are an out away from surviving to play Concordia, Wisconsin again tomorrow. But still one more strike to get. Lozano winds. Here's the 0-2. It's fought off by the freshman. The alum of Sonoma Valley High School in California. It's not of a hit in the conference tournament. If she comes up with one, it will send Dominican into the final. Lozano to the outside corner, and she just missed. That was a good call, I think, by home plate umpire Simon Steiner. I don't think it had the plate. And that was a courageous take by Amormino, who's choked up about 2 inches on the bat. As the 1-2 flies, it's outside again. And now Lozano has to make a pitch. Count isn't full, but you don't want to miss again and have to groove one in. So a very important pitch here on 2-2, and it's spoiled again. Don't you love sports? What's not to like? These moments, this is why you watch. Who will win the battle? The 2-2 again is in the dirt. The count is full. Oh my goodness. It comes down to a pitch. The payoff pitch misses, and we're tied. A bases loaded walk scores Guzman. 4 runs in the inning, and now the Stars need any result that reaches base to end it. Sarah Cornell, for the second time this inning, is at the plate. And takes ball 1 on the outside half. Just missed it. She is 0 for 5. Or 0 for 4. She's trying to avoid going 0 for 5. The Stars have batted around to force extras at minimum. Lozano with strike number 1 is in on the inside half. And now a 1-1 pitch. And that misses too low. Cornell inches ahead. Two and 1. And Lozano finds the zone. It's 2 and 2. Pitch to Cornell, fought off. One hour, 59 minutes. Will 2 hours be enough to contain this game, or will Cornell end it? Swing and a miss. No, she got a piece. At least one fan puts his hands on his head out in the 3rd row. He can't believe it. 2 and 2. Still the count. Lozano deals. It's popped up behind the plate. Bruno looks for it and can't get there. It had just enough to get to the netting. And Cornell, the freshman, will get another chance. Kaylee Diaz-Randall is the potential winning run. The 2-2 is fouled off again. And this will be the 9th pitch of the plate appearance, matching the longest one of this game from Priscilla Rudder back in the 5th. One more time, the 2-2 pitch. That is too high. The count is full. And it well and truly comes down to this. Will it be extras? Or will it be a 5-run rally? Line drive into center. Bogard runs on and makes the catch to send us to extras. Dominican needed 4, they got 4. Can you believe it? 4 hits, there was an error. Bases left loaded. Unbelievable. We play on. 6 all through 7. We still don't know who will be in the championship round tomorrow. We'll begin to find out coming up. Everyone needs to collect themselves now after Dominican rallied for 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to force extra innings. And Hannah Richards, who got the last out of the 7th in relief of Liberty Rivard, who herself had come in relief of Emma Woodhouse, starts off Taylor Openhies with ball 1. 1 for 3. The one was a run-scoring double in the second. She'll try to set the table for BU. Fouls off the 1-0 off the hands. Will it be next run wins? Well, if Benedictine scores and Dominican does not, yes. Benedictine doesn't score and Dominican scores, also yes. There's a lot of different combinations there, though, so I won't bother to go through all of them, although, hey, who knows? We've got time. We've seen a 15-inning game before. Is that what we're in store for here? 2 hours and 4 minutes right now. Into a 2-1 count to begin the 8th inning. Richards sets, deals, gets a swing and a miss. Counts 2-2. Breaking ball, it hangs up. Well, it really now is a test of whose bullpen is deeper. Line drive in the left. Vogel runs on, it dives, and it gets over her. Openhies will turn. It was a good throw back in, but it's a leadoff double for Openhies. Will that be a costly mistake? It's not an error, but in trying to record the out, giving up the extra base, how important will that end up being? Well, we'll find out. Lauren Bogard comes to the plate. Is this a sacrifice situation for the freshman? Looks like it, but she'll pull it back. Pitches into the dirt. Here goes the runner. Throw to third is in time. Oh, my goodness. Caught stealing for the first out to erase a runner in scoring position at third base. Bogard took ball 1. And now looks out. A pitch down and away. It's a quick 2-0 count. Too high. 3-0. And now Richards trying to find the zone to avoid the 1-out walk and does not. In fact, it got away from Diaz-Randall and Karams to the backstop. I'll throw over to first after Bogard took the turn. And Mackenzie Johnson will wait as Christina Lucas is out. And it looks like we'll have another pitching change. And we'll see Rhiannon Rubio, the typical Game 2 starter for Dominican, come in here with 1 on and 1 out in the 8th. Tied at 6 in extras in the 2025 NACC tournament. Game 5, a double elimination and an elimination game on this Saturday. Well, now we are into both of the Game 2 starters now. Jasmine Lozano is already in for Benedictine, and here's Rhiannon Rubio. Only her 4th appearance out of the bullpen, 19th overall, 78 innings, 63 strikeouts, and a 3.68 ERA in the regular season. She makes her first appearance of the NACC tournament with 1 on and 1 out in the top of the 8th. Mackenzie Johnson 0 for 2 with a bases loaded walk on her line today. Takes a look at ball 1. Morgan Bruno at the top of the order, looking on from the on-deck circle. One out pitch. Just off the outside corner. Rubio to a couple of fastballs, but hasn't been able to find the zone with either. Freshman out of Lancaster, California. Into the game. Has a considerable bend in her windup. Johnson, a high fly ball to right. Amormino running on. She will make the catch. And there are 2 outs. Now Morgan Bruno for the 5th time in this game. It's been on twice and scored twice, both on errors by a Star shortstop. So 0 for 4, looking for that first hit. She came into the tournament hitting north of 400. Makes ball 1. It's 2-3-4 due up for Dominican in the bottom half. Will they need 1 or more? 2 misses by Rubio, who has now thrown 5 pitches, and the only strike has been the fly out. Here is the 2-0 offering, and that one finds the zone. Two-one count on the way to Bruno, now 3-1. First time in extra innings this season for Benedictine. Dominican has been in extras twice and hasn't won either of them. So they'll try to finally collect a win after regulation. The 3-1 to Bruno is well outside, and she reaches via the walk. That'll move Bogard up to second and bring Brianna Deutscher to the plate. Another visit in the circle as Christina Lucas is out. Well, I don't think the seriousness of the situation is lost on anyone at this point, and the details matter at this point. And they don't want to leave any of them undiscovered. Brianna Deutscher at the plate is 1 for 3. He delivered a 2-run single in the second, put down a sacrifice in the 7th. She takes strike 1 as Rubio gets ahead for the first time in 3 batters. And then Haley Barnes on deck is who Dominican would like to avoid, if at all possible, here in the 8th. 0-1 pitch, too tall. Concordia, Wisconsin waiting. Still don't know who they'll be playing tomorrow at noon. 1-1 on the outside corner. A good fastball by Rubio. And for the first time is a strike away from getting out of the inning. Can she make the pitch? Not this time. Went to the rise ball, but nothing that time, and the count is even. With 2 on, A 6-6 game. That 7 innings was not enough for. Deutscher stays alive. Might have been ball 3, but too close to take the chance. So we'll tee up the 2-2 once again as the right-handed freshman looks to execute a pitch, get back in the dugout, and see if the bats can win it. Here's the 2-2, rolled over out to short. Santoyo will field it and apply the tag on Bogart, advancing to third. So why take a risk on a throw when a fielder's choice is available? It ends the inning. Dominican keeps Benedictine off the board. Eagles strand 2 with the leadoff double erased on a caught stealing. And now the Stars can walk it off in the 8th. 2-3-4 up in a 6-all game. Liana Santoyo will start things off for Dominican in the bottom of the 8th inning. Stars keep Benedictine off the board. It's 6 apiece. Santoyo line drive in the left. Base hit. She is 3 for 5. And now options. How does Christina Lucas want to play this as Reagan Davis returns to bat? She had been pinch hit for against Morgan Magnabosco, but now gets the bat back in the designated player spot. Have to think this is a bunt. I don't know that there's any other play to be made right now unless they decide to let Santoyo try it herself. She does have 15 stolen bases. But Oppenheis is expecting the bunt. Barnes appears to be as well. Davis now turns the bat on a pitch that's too high. Trying to induce a pop-up in this spot if you're Jasmine Lozano. Does not. Out to third. Barnes to second. The throw is to Olsen covering the bag. The sacrifice moves Santoyo up, and she is the winning run in scoring position. Isabella almost now to the plate with a 2 for 3 line. The freshman will get the first chance to end it, with Santoyo on second, likely to score on a base hit. First pitch swinging, and it's out of play, foul. Benedictine added a run in the 7th to make a 5-2 lead into 6-2 and could not hang on to advance to tomorrow. Now the Stars the chance to end it. Almost the ground ball, foul up the third base line. That would have done it. Barnes was over the line, and in these types of situations, you're guarding the line a little more than you normally would. It also leaves some real estate available elsewhere on the field. And then the outfielders need to account for needing to come up with a throw. Counts 0-2 to Olmos. A critically important pitch for Lozano, who comes up and in and almost fights off another. Stars brought 10 to the plate in the 7th in a dramatic rally to save their season. Almost on 0-2, trying to send the Stars into tomorrow. Lozano misses for the first time in this at-bat, and the count is 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Tapper back to Lozano. Thought about going to third, but quickly spun around and threw out Olmos. Santoyo glides into third. And now it's Riley Davis. A lot to consider here. How does Christina Lucas want to play this with 2 outs? Davis, first pitch swinging, grounder to second. Olsen to a knee, fields it. The throw was high, but Openheis, who is 5'9", got up and made the catch. The side is retired. 2 chances with a runner in scoring position. The Stars could not come up with a second hit in the inning. Leadoff single is left stranded and will go to the 9th. Still tied at 6 in this NACC tournament elimination game. The heart of the Benedictine order will bat in the top of the 9th. Haley Barnes is hitless. She has reached on a walk. She'll be followed by Victoria Dazinski and Jasmine Lozano. They are the 3 due up as the Eagles trying to shake off that 4 runs allowed in the 7th. I'm sure that's the message. Look, we didn't lose the game. We can still win this and play tomorrow. It's about what you do from here, not what's already happened. Rhiannon Rubio's first pitch. Well outside and off the glove of Diaz Randall. If they can set the table, Jasmine Lozano has hit everything in this game. She's 3 for 4, all singles. One of them is driven in a run. Would love to get someone on for her. Barnes cuts on and misses a high fastball. A 1-1 count. 1-1, fly ball to center. Cornell will drift towards the right field alley, but has plenty of time. 1 down for Victoria Dazinski, who singled in a run last inning for her first hit of this ball game, and you would have thought had driven in the final nail on Dominican season, but did not. Now will bat. Nobody on and 1 out. She takes strike 1. Rubio into the motion, and Dazinski sprays it foul. An 0-2 hole. Honorable mention all-conference last year when she hit 405 and entered the day just below that. Needing to protect on 0-2 and hits a fly ball to left. Vogel runs on and makes the catch. 2 down. And so the current Eagles pitcher, Lozano, will now attempt to come up with a 2-out rally, or at least to start it off. 3 for 4, as I mentioned. It's been over the plate. She's hit it in the center field today. Ball 1 taken. First one was a bit of a bloop. The second 2 hits anything but. Everything has gone right back up the middle. Even the out was right to the pitcher. Second pitch, that's off the handle, foul. A 1-1 count, the 5th batter in the BU order in the top of the 9th. 2 outs, nobody on, the 1-1 pitch, another foul ball. Rubio has gotten 4 outs out of the bullpen. Looking to make it another, and gets a roller to second that bounced up. A terrible hop. Gets almost. And the inning continues. Let's see what happened here. That just came up on the last hop. That was wicked. Right up into her face. It's going to be an error. And the inning continues. And Jenna Bartkey will try to extend the inning. Looks at strike 1. She is 1 for 3. Was pinch hit for in the 5th. Lozano on first. Foul tip into the glove. 0-2 count to the freshman. Two was well upstairs. Just trying to change Bartkey's eye level, I would surmise. It's still a very good count for a pitcher. It's 1-2. Fought off. Six apiece. A 1-2 count upcoming as Benedictine tries to string together a few hits, find a way to get back out in front. Position they enjoyed for much of this game. 1-2, driven down the left field line. Lozano's around second. She'll get as far as third before hitting the brakes. And Bartkey has put a couple in scoring position. It's her second hit. And Taylor Openheis, who has a couple of doubles today, will try to put Benedictine back into the lead. Rubio's first pitch is popped up right side, almost trying to track it down. She's called off and almost couldn't get there. 2-run score. Benedictine's back in front. A perfectly placed bloop single. Openheis has given the Eagles the lead. A couple more unearned runs. Dominican will discuss amongst themselves here as now Lauren Bogard comes to the plate. And once again, the Eagles are 3 outs from advancing. Absolutely unbelievable. 2.5 hours. That's how long we've been here in the final game. Every second of it has been riveting. What more could you ask for? So now it's Lauren Bogard taking ball 1 outside. Benedictine 5 of 11 with runners in scoring position today. They have come up with the hits when they've needed to. Foul ball. 1-1. That's headed for some fans, and you could hear them. There was genuine concern among the fans out there. Everyone's all right. All right, now we're having difficulty getting the ball back in without it crashing on every seat in the bleachers, but we're finally going to get that back into a dugout where it can be reused in a bit. Count now 1-1, and the pitch outside. 6, 7, and 8 set to hit the bottom of the 9th for the Stars, needing another rally to extend the season. 2-1 pitch is in the dirt. Runner goes. The throw is not in time, and it caroms off the sliding Openheis in the left center, but she'll stay there. As with a smile, Kate Heidkamp hits the stop sign. I think Openheis, for a moment, just wasn't sure what to do, and the stolen base. And a 3-1 count now for Bogard, who slices one foul just past third base umpire Mark Ginsky. Count is full. The 15-inning game that I was here for at Bedrosian Stadium between Aurora and MSOE went 2 hours and 46 minutes. 21 hits between these two teams. Payoff pitch is too high, and it's a 2-out walk. That fills the open base and sets up a force at first, second, and third. And Mackenzie Johnson set to bat. It's the third walk of the day for the freshman, who now stands on first. Johnson's 0 for 3 with a walk. She takes ball 1. One out. A line drive, just foul. Well, given what we've already seen Dominican do, I don't know if I would go so far as to say that will put this one away. However, that would have certainly helped Benedictine's chances if it had landed inside the line. It did not do that, and the count is 1-1. And Rubio will try to make another pitch. Johnson hits hard, diving, stops Santoyo, and she goes to third to end the inning. A fabulous play to get the third out on the fielder's choice. But once again, 2 runs in, 2 hits, an error, 2 left. And once again, Dominican needs a rally to extend its season. It's a little less daunting than in the 7th, but it's a 2-run deficit. It's 8-6 going to the bottom of the 9th. Well, here we go, folks. Bottom of the 9th, with Dominican needing 2 to play a 10th and 3 to not play the 10th and instead just play tomorrow instead. Kaylee Diaz-Randall to start it off against Jasmine Lozano, and she takes strike 1. 2 for 3. The last one was a 2-run double that brought the Stars within 1. In that huge 7th inning rally. 0-1 pitch comes up and in and is taken for a ball. One is popped a mile high over the infield and nearly a collision behind the circle as Deutscher and Olsen nearly collide. That would have been a disaster, but it is averted as Olsen makes the catch. There is one away. And it brings Hannah Vogel to the plate. 0 for 3 and hit by a pitch. First pitch, soft liner back to Lozano. 2 down. And now the Stars are down to the last out. And it is Jillian Zubernat back in, trying to find a way for the Stars. She's 2 for 3 so far. Swings and misses at Lozano's first pitch. Oh, 1 from the junior. Down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Absolutely incredible game today at Bedrosian Stadium. A shame that someone's season will end. 1-1, soft liner. Haley Barnes has it, and it's over. Benedictine charges out of the dugout to celebrate at the pitcher's mound. They gave up 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th, barely escaped without a massive collapse to be eliminated, but find a way to get a couple of outs, a couple of runs in the 9th inning, and they win it 8-6. I don't even know what to say. I'll be high fives here. And what more can you say about the heart of the Dominican Stars? Can't really say anyone deserved to lose this game. It was a spectacular rally. The Stars left it all on the field and just fell a little bit short. 8 runs on 10 hits, 3 errors. 10 stranded for Benedictine as their fans come to their feet in the stands. Dominican 6 runs, 11 hits, 3 errors. 11 left on the day for Dominican. After all that, Jasmine Lozano gets the win and moves to 8-7. And Rhiannon Rubio will take the loss, falling to 9-3. And a couple of unearned runs. In fact, the last 4 of the game were all unearned to Dominican. So Benedictine moves on. They are 30-14. That is the 13th 30-win season in Kate Heidecamp's 27 seasons with the win. They'll play tomorrow at noon. They need to win to force the if necessary game, but they are in the final round. Again, 12 o'clock tomorrow. We hope you'll join us. Dominican falls just a little bit short. It's 31-12 their season, which ends today. 2 hours, 37 minutes is how long we needed for a 9-inning game that had absolutely everything. That's the final. Concordia, Wisconsin, the 1 seed. Benedictine, the 3 seed. 1 game tomorrow, 2 if necessary to decide the automatic qualifier to the 2025 NCAA tournament and the 2025 NACC tournament champion. We will see you then. For Bryce Suter, my technical director, I am Sean Fry. This has been the 2025 NACC softball tournament. See you on Sunday, and an early Happy Mother's Day.